Hello, in this video I will show you how you can create a load more button in React. We will use Node.js and MongoDB as backend. This is how it will work. This is our database named test. We have users collection. It has 5 documents. This is an empty React component. What we are going to do is create 3 state variables. First will be the current page number. We will initialize it with 1. We will increment it every time load more button is pressed. Second will be the data array. And third will be a boolean value that tells if there are more pages available. We will show load more button only when this value is true. We will loop through all users and display them in paragraph. After that, we will show load more button only if has more pages variable is true. When this button is clicked, we will increment the page value. Then we will create a React hook that will be called once when the page state is mounted, and then every time page value gets updated. We need to move this before the return statement. Now we will create this load more function. We need to call an HTTP request in this function. So we will create an XML HTTP request object. Open the connection with post method. Set the URL. We will create this API in a moment and set the request as asynchronous. Then we will detect when the response from API is received. Ready state will be 4 when the response is completely received from server. If status is 200, it means there is no error. We will receive the response as string in this.response text variable. We will parse this JSON to array. We will get the new users array from API. We need to append that array in our existing users array. For that, first we need to create a shallow copy of our existing array. Then we will loop through all the new records from API and push them in the shallow copy of array. Finally, we will update the state variable. This will re-render the UI, and we will set the has more pages state variable as well. After the onReady state change, we will create a form data object and send current page value and send the request. We have this simple Node.js server. We will create a post API in it. We will set the limit to 1 for testing, get the page value from client, and calculate the number of records to skip. So if user is at page 3, then it will be 3 minus 1 equals 2 multiplied by limit that is 1. So it will skip first 2 records. Then we will fetch the records from database. We are not using any filters. We are sorting the data in descending order. Then we will use skip and limit functions and return the dataset as array. It will return all the fields of all the documents, but it is a good practice to return only required fields from the API. So we will create our custom array, create a temporary object, and define the fields that we want to return, and push that in custom array. Now in order to check if there are more pages available, we first need to calculate the total number of documents in users collection. Then we will check if this total is greater than the product of current page and limit variable. So if there are 5 records and user is at page 3 and the limit is 1, then it will be 3 multiplied by 1, which is 3. 3 is less than 5, so it will be true. Finally, we will return the response to the client and return users array and has more pages boolean value. Now let's try this with limit 2. Let's try with 15. So that's how you can create a load more button in React with Node.js and MongoDB as backend. If you face any problem in following this, kindly do let me know.